a dive board, a duck, Sankya Butcher. I'll give you a clue, it's nothing to do with poultry, nothing at all. Somebody's actually shouted out the right answer, but I'll try to build a suspense. The prize is to look at the starless sky this evening, to drink the fresh, thick, viscous London water. Ladies and gentlemen, look back to there, you will see this. There we have, look at that. And by the way, it's a ship. Oh, you can see it from the side. If you look over on the left, there's no windows on the ground floor there. That is the Bank of England. 7,200 tons of gold at the Bank of England. Now, on your chest and on your arm, that's when you knew you had the plague. A pocket full of posies was the drugs you would have used. There was no antibiotics. A tissue of tissues when you were sneezing, they all fell down, was when they died. It was a plague. 1/3 of the population died from the plague. Now, on the 2nd of September 1666, in a bakery in Poodle Lane, the Great Fire of London started. The fire raged, ripped through the entire city of London in less than 1 week and destroyed the entire city in less than a week. There was a man of the Great Fire of London. His name is Samuel Pepys. And Samuel Pepys wrote a diary. And in his diary he wrote, on 2nd of September 1666, I woke up, I observed the fire, I thought it of no significance, and I went back to my bed. This was the educated, the elite. Remember, in 1666, most people were illiterate. This man was educated. Most common people thought, it's going to burn, let it burn, nothing to do with me. It's not my place, not my property, let it burn, nothing to do with me. Bury the wine in the backyard, that was the most common thing. Bury the food, the dried meat and the wine in the backyard, let the fire continue. So we're going to see the monument. You can see it up top just now. It's 202 feet high. There's 311 steps up. There's 311 steps down. And when you complete it, you get a certificate to certify you insane. I have two. On your left. Sometimes if you wave, they wave back. Other times they just look at you as if you're a fool. Oh, we have some wavers. Okay, people, control yourself. Control your excitement. Control yourself. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is London Bridge. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, control yourself. This is it. London Bridge. This is it. Control yourself. Deep breaths. London Bridge. And if you look to your left, Tower Bridge. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London bridges are falling down my way. There's two things we can tell from that. Firstly, I'm tone deaf. Secondly, London Bridge fell down. Second London Bridge was sold to the US of A. It's in Arizona, Lake Havasu. This is the third stone London Bridge. The bridge over yonder is Tower Bridge, designed by Horace Jones in 1894. Directly in front of us, left and right, you will see the dragons. In front of us, left and right. And the dragons indicate we were leaving the city of London. Now, if you look in front and on the left, there's a big white spike. That's a memorial spike to all the heads that were on spikes here on London Bridge. This is where they cut the head off, put on a spike on London Bridge to instill fear in the population of London. The first head to go up was a Scotsman, William Wallace, August 23, 1305. I was once asked if this was the original spike. I had to say yes. The best question I've been asked so far on the bus is, excuse me sir, am I on the right bus for the walking tour? Yes you are. Have a seat. It's bloody history, authentic urine. And that's authentic, that's no synthetic, that's the real stuff. It's too scary. What happens is chambers. And you go in and it's like a theatre. The production will all be set up. And there'll be a mannequin on the floor and her throat is cut and her belly's cut open, and the actor will come in dressed like a British Bobby and he'll say something like, ah, this looks like the work of Jack the Ripper, and then he'll explain why it's Jack the Ripper, the women he killed, that sort of thing. They open up the doors, herd you into the next chamber, and someone will come with a dead dog on a string, and then they'll tell you about the plague. Then it's the illusion. The magic was 44 days work, £6.5 million profit. 44 days work, £6.5 million profit. That magic is called milking the media cow. And David Blaine is a master. And that happened just here on the left. The Gherkin over the left. The City Hall on the left. Both designed by some Norman Foster. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tower Bridge. This bridge is open when it's closed and closed when it's open. If you look up top, you can walk across here. Now if anybody wants to do the boat cruise, down there on the left is City Cruises, and that's Tower Pier, and that's where you can take the boat cruise from, down there on the left. The big Gherkin. The Gherkin. Swiss Re's, Reinsurance, 30 St Mary's Way. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on the left-hand side tour of London. So much history here, so I'll start at the beginning. 1066, William the Conqueror, the first king of all England, a Frenchman and Norman, defeats the Vikings, and builds this in 1072. The largest diamond in the world is here. This is where the first English people would have seen the polar bear, the first lion, the first tiger, the first polar bear. They've seen them here. The first telescopes to observe the stars in England were done here. So much history in this great building. Almost 1,000 years of history. Here. Executions, royal prison. So much history. The Tower of London, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if anybody wants to do the boat cruise, up to the church on the left, take a left and walk to the river. The reason I say the river, I sent some people, I say up to the church, take a left. They come back 30-40 minutes later and they were shouting at the person on the floor staff there, and they were shouting out really angry. He said up the church, take a left, and he asked them a simple question, did you walk to the river? They said no. So now I add it in. If you want to do the boat cruise, up the church, take a left and walk to the river to do the boat cruise, okay? Nice and simple. Ladies and gentlemen, has anyone heard of a man? His name was Jack. His middle name was The, and his surname was Ripper. Directly in front of us is Jack the Ripper territory, ladies and gentlemen, Jack the Ripper. If you want to do the boat cruise, up the church to the left, walk to the river. If you want to do the Tower of London, up and to the left. This is your stop for the boat and the tower. Enjoy. And screaming behind a horse 2 miles on their head. By the time they got to the hanging-girls, they'd be unconscious. This is the bit they'll put their head in the icy water and they'd be revived. Then they put a noose around their neck. Remember, there was no Simpsons, there was no Friends, there was no cinema. This was the entertainment of the day. So, noose around the neck, over a beam, tied to horse, kick the horse. They would go up. As they went up, they would start to suffocate, their throat would start to crush. They would be opened from the throat to crotch, they'd be drawn. When they were opened up, they would start to brand with a red hot poker their internal organs.